Hey Nailholics, welcome back to another video, and if you're new, welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to use Madam Glam's Mirage and Frosting. The Mirage is a 3D sculpting gel, and Frosting is a 3D art gel. And I'll also be using this silver chrome gel paint as well. So before I get started, I'm going to go ahead and open everything up. So the Mirage did come with a black protector over it. So I'm just using a pair of tweezers to pop it off, and this is how it looks. And then next I opened up the frosting, and this was a little harder for me to open because it was sealed, so tightly. But again, I just used my tweezers and I tried to peel it off, but it was giving me trouble, so I ended up just having to make like a little hole on top of it and peel it off that way. And finally, I'm opening the silver chrome gel paint. This also had a seal on it. You guys, look how pretty the color is. I love this so much. It looks like liquid silver. So I'm going to be doing my design on my favorite ballerina tips. They are long, and I'm using the Madam Glam's XOXO gel polish as my base color. It's my favorite nude. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. And I'll be starting with the Mirage 3D sculpting gel first. So I like to use a dotting tool to scoop out the amount of sculpting gel that I want to use. And I'm going to use very light pressure, okay? You don't need to use a lot of force when you're rolling and sculpting. You want to use very, very light pressure. That's very important, okay? But the design that I'm doing has been trending all over social media. You've seen it, I know you have. And I also feel like this is very beginner friendly as well. So after I roll up my sculpting gel, I'm going to use my tweezers and pick it up, and I'm going to apply it to the nail using the tweezers. This design, instead of doing like a perfect French tip, I'm doing like a wavy type of French tip because I want it to look like the metal, like since we're using silver chrome paint, I want it to look like metal is like melting onto your nail. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but you'll see when I'm done. But yeah, so basically I'm using my tweezers to just move the sculpting gel around and, just kind of perfecting my wavy French tip design. And another thing you can do is you can take your tweezers and pull out however much sculpting gel you think you'll need and just roll it into little balls and set it to the side. And this kind of helps you move a little faster when doing the actual design as well. So I have all of my little sculpting gel balls ready on this plate, and so I can just pick it up and roll it up however I need to do it and apply it to the nails. I also wanted to mention that if I had to compare the Mirage with something, it would definitely be Play-Doh. Just be mindful not to use so much force when you're sculpting and working with it. Like I said, you just want to apply very light pressure, because if you use too much force, it'll just get like really sticky and smushy and get everywhere. So you don't need to use excessive force, very light pressure, and just kind of play with it, just kind of play with it. Like I said, this design is very beginner friendly, so I think that if you wanted to follow along with this, you definitely could. Now this next nail I'm working on is kind of going to be my accent nail. So I'm going to use the Mirage to randomly make a wavy line across the nail, and I'll just be using my tweezers to play with it and, you know, move it around until I get a shape that I like. And then I'm going to take some more Mirage and I'm going to do the exact same thing on a different part of the nail. So basically I'm just creating two 3D wavy lines across the nail. So this is how the nails turned out using the Madam Glam Mirage 3D sculpting gel. When you're done, you're just going to put it under the lamp and cure it for 60 seconds. So now we're going to move on to using the Madam Glam's Frosting 3D Art Gel. And I'm basically going to be doing the exact same design, just instead of the Mirage, we're using frosting. And if I had to compare the frosting to something, it would definitely be frosting. It's definitely like working with frosting. So I'm just using a small detail brush and I'm picking some up. The consistency is a lot thicker, but it's not thick enough to where you want to, like, you know, touch it and like sculpt it with your hands, like how we did with the Mirage. You definitely want to use some type of brush or even a dotting tool, and I'll also show you guys how I do that as well. And you just start painting on the nail. You just start painting on the nail. Like I said, I'm doing the exact same design. So I'm starting with the accent nail design, which was the two wavy lines on the nail. And because when you use a brush and frosting, it comes out a lot thinner than the Mirage does. So this is where I picked up my dotting tool and I just kind of cleaned up the edges a little bit. And then I also picked up some more frosting just so I can build it up in thickness, because I wanted both the nails to match as much as possible. But I don't know. I was able to tell the difference. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell the difference at the end of it when I show you the final results. If you are able to tell the difference, definitely let me know in the comments. And also let me know in the comments, which one do you prefer to work with? Do you prefer the Mirage or the frosting? Let me know. So this is how the Madam Glam Frosting 3D Art Gel turned out. I cured it under the lamp for 60 seconds, and you can definitely tell the difference between the frosting and the Mirage. The Mirage is a lot thicker. And now it's time to apply some silver chrome gel paint. I'm really excited about it. I think it's so pretty. Now, the consistency of the gel paint is also pretty thick. It kind of reminds me of stringing gel. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like stringing gel, but it's like gel polish, just like a little bit thicker, you know? But yeah, so I'm just going to use my detail brush and I'm going to be painting along the lines. This is the Mirage nails that I'm working on right now, but I'm going to be painting along the line that I created with my Mirage sculpting gel. And I'm using a smaller detail brush because I just want to make sure that, you know, I don't mess up the French design. I want it to be like as neat as possible and I don't want to flood it. But I do go in with a bigger brush to paint the rest of the free edge, which you'll see here in a minute. And can we just take a minute to appreciate how pigmented this chrome is? I didn't even have to apply a second coat, you guys. Look at that pigment. Look at it. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love. I am so in love with this. Now for the accent nail, I'm only going to be applying the chrome to the Mirage wavy lines on this nail. And then once I'm done applying my chrome on all of the nails, I'm going to cure this under the lamp for 60 seconds. So now I'm going to apply my silver chrome gel paint to my frosting 3D art gel, and I'm pretty much doing the same thing. There are some differences between the frosting and the Mirage. Obviously, the frosting is a little thinner, and so what I did was I took my chrome gel paint and I kind of overlined a little bit. Like, you know how in makeup they overline their lips to make it look thicker? I did the same thing on my lines on the nails, okay? And I think I pulled it off. I think I did pretty good. Another difference is the frosting isn't like, my lines aren't as like smooth and perfect as the Mirage, but I don't know, I think I kind of like that look a little bit better for this design. I don't know, you guys let me know what you think about that in the comments. And if you've made it this far in the tutorial, thank you so much for sticking with me and watching. I appreciate all of the support, and to show my appreciation, I'm going to share my discount code with you guys. So whenever you're shopping on the Madam Glam website, because I know you guys want to try out this Mirage and this frosting, so before you check out, make sure that you use my code NailholicStudio35. You'll get 35% off your entire order. Just be sure to check out under the pay as you go option if you don't want to become a VIP member. So here are the nails with the frosting. I did cure this under the lamp for 60 seconds. And here is the Mirage. So you can kind of see the difference. Or can you? I don't know. Let me know. Can you tell the difference? And right here, I was kind of debating with myself. I didn't know if I wanted to apply shiny top coat or if I wanted to do half shiny, half matte. And in the end, I decided to just do the half matte, half shiny, because that's originally what I envisioned anyway. And it'd been such a long time since I wore matte nails. So I applied the matte gel polish to the XOXO part of the nail, which is the nude part. And then I applied shiny top coat with a detail brush to the chrome. So here are the final results. In my left hand, I have the Mirage, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you a close-up of how they turned out. So this is the Mirage. I think it's so pretty. Like I said, it is a lot thicker. The lines are a little more consistent and really smooth. Since you're able to like mold it in your hand, it's easier to work with. And on my right hand, we have the frosting. As you can see, the lines are a bit thinner, and it's also not as smooth and consistent as the Mirage because I did do this with a brush and I just kind of had to, you know, freehand it. You don't have as much control, but it's still not really, like, I wouldn't consider it hard to work with. I feel like a beginner could definitely still work with it without too much trouble. I mean, with any product, of course, there's going to be a learning curve, but I rate these products a 10 out of 10. You guys let me know which hand is your favorite. Do you prefer the Mirage or do you prefer the frosting? Are you able to tell the difference between both hands? Can you tell that I use two different products? Let me know. Let's talk about it in the comments. But that's it for today's tutorial, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.